Get up, my world is with my girls, living on the dance floor.
Welcome back to Leave It on the Dance Floor. This is an exciting episode. Sitting here with me today, I have Alexx Calise, the singer, songwriter, composer, everything of Cry, the song that you all know and love. Woohoo!
Woo!
Was I right in that?
Oh, no, absolutely.
Yes,
Thank you.
Okay, yes. So let's talk about how we met.
Okay.
Did we meet?
Oh, no, we absolutely did. So,
All right. I just clearly don't remember. I had a lot of chemo.
No, for sure. Well, it was kind of an interesting story. So I'm affiliated with a few different licensing agencies, and what they do is they license my music to film and TV. So what happened was there was a placement of mine, Cry, as you know, and the song, it was basically the soul ballad on an otherwise all rock record that I was really pushing. And then all of a sudden I started getting all of these hits on the song out of nowhere. And I was like, why is that happening? So I went on YouTube and I found a little girl named Maddie Ziegler dancing to the song on the first season of Dance Moms, which I had never heard of. So it was such a beautiful dance, and it was just the way that she danced to it. It was so fluid and passionate. And I thought to myself, like, I would love to have this little girl in the music video for it, because I had never filmed a video for it.
Right.
So my dad suggested it to me. He's like, why don't you have her dance in it? So we found a way to get your phone number through Fran Peters, a friend of ours.
Goodness.
Yes, that's what it was.
How do you know Fran Peters?
Through my dad. My dad is a physician, and it was, I believe, one of his patients.
Oh, that's crazy.
I think that's what it was.
So your dad's from like Maryland, D.C. area?
No, from Fort Lauderdale. So I don't know what the association was, but
That's interesting.
It was through Fran Peters.
Fran's from Maryland, outside D.C.
Maybe it was through like a patient that happened to know her. I don't know what the association was, but anyway, so I cold called you, and you're like, who the hell is this? And I'm like, I'm the girl that wrote Cry.
So you got me on the phone directly.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's what it was. And then, I asked you, I'm like, do you think that Maddie would be interested? And you said absolutely. And then 2 weeks later, we flew her out, and she came with Gianna, and then we rented out a warehouse and we filmed the video.
Well, that's how I work.
Yeah.
I was always trying to get my students gigs, whether it be Maddie or even Gianna, my student.
Right.
To get them to do some other things. I probably couldn't have come.
Right.
There was no way I was
no,
able to come,
of course.
This was even before the wheelchair. But
right.
Yeah, they probably had me shooting something else or doing something else. So it's wonderful. Yes. So you had no idea about the show. All of a sudden, people just started listening to and buying Cry.
Yeah, and doing all these dances, which I thought was really weird. I'm like, why are they specifically dancing to it?
Yes.
And then I found out that Maddie had danced to it in the show.
And all the kids were trying to do the dance.
Yes.
Right. And that's how we, not me, but the television show Dance Moms became so popular and so quickly, because the children watched it over and over and over.
Right.
Our demographic was adult women, because that's the network and that's what they cater to. 57 Ways to Kill Your Husband and all that stuff. However, we were catering to the kids.
Right.
And the children were watching it. And if you could have counted the times our show was viewed, not that first time on Tuesday nights at 9:00 when it first aired, but all the other times back in the day, we probably would have been the #1 show on television.
Yeah, well, what's funny is, like, I'll be watching TV sometimes and I'll just hear Dance Moms references. People will say it on TV, like, oh, I don't want to be a dance mom, or a dance mom. And like, sometimes it has a negative connotation because obviously there was a lot of controversy with the show.
It was just on the Sex and the City.
Yes.
The whole reboot of And Just Like That.
Right. Yeah, which is amazing. So it's so ingrained in the zeitgeist, like, of popular culture now.
Yes, and it's still so relevant. That's what's crazy to me. It's 12 years after it aired. Well, 12 years.
Well, we were talking when we were at my show the other night about how now it's on Disney Plus and Hulu and all these other different networks, and now people are rediscovering it, or for the first time they're watching it.
5-year-olds.
Yep.
Who obviously weren't born.
Right.
Are watching it. I get all these requests for our cameos, which I need to do a lot more of. And sorry if your Cameo expired, just just rebook it. Just keep rebooking it. I'll get to it, please. But they want a happy birthday, and the child is turning 5, and I'm
Oh
like,
my
how does she even know
gosh.
who I am? You know, and they're watching it. We watch one episode every night before she goes to bed, and I'm like, well, stop watching it and watch my YouTube channel because it's more educational than the show. Yes. So, all right. So you saw Cry, you did the video for Cry, you worked with Gianna and Maddie,
Mhm.
and then go from there. So now we use Cry once,
Mhm.
then years later, we use it again
Mhm.
for Mackenzie to dance
Mhm.
to. So obviously I know the answer to this, but
Oh man.
which version did you like better?
Oh man.
The one
That's
on the
just
right or the one on the left?
that's just like a stake through my heart. Oh my gosh, because they're both so wonderful. But
You
I
can say it.
okay. Well, I mean, I'm gonna have to go with Maddie because, like, I got to know her and on such a personal level because she stayed in our home and she was in the music video. And there's just something about the way that she dances. It has soul. And I'm not saying Mackenzie doesn't have soul because she does, but with Maddie, it's just
It was
different.
different. Yes. Yes.
Well,
She's
Abby, I'm curious, was that your idea, or did they make you do Cry Again and have Mackenzie do it? Like, was that something that you wanted to do? Because I don't think that you ever saw that as a Mackenzie kind of solo anyway, because she was always doing gymnastics and acro and like
Yeah.
fun,
No, I
cutesy
would
stuff.
never consider her doing that. I'm sure they came up with that.
Mm.
And I was like, okay. And we had to change it all to the left. We had to
And it
rewrite.
was the same costume. Was it actually Maddie's? Do you remember that?
Yes. Yes. It would have been
It
the same
was.
costume.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Interesting.
it was reversed. I believe that costume was actually made by the costume maker in Pittsburgh, Connie, that did all my stuff at my studio. I think she actually
Interesting.
made that costume, whether it was for her, for a different solo, or if it was for that solo. I can't really remember. The costume thing was the worst part of the show, I feel.
really.
The biggest downfall. Yes, because to make a custom made solo costume could take a solid 2 weeks of somebody working on it and stoning it and everything.
Right.
And when we're getting music on Tuesday, fighting about it all night until Wednesday, and then doing the choreography Wednesday and Thursday and competing Saturday, there's no time to make a costume.
Right. Well, the reason why the costume is blue is because Maddie told me this. That she actually at first danced to "Somewhere Over the Rainbow."
Okay, then there's your
who-
answer. So she
Yeah.
danced to Somewhere Over the Rainbow in that costume as Dorothy-esque, will you?
Mhm.
And then we used it for Cry. Right.
And
There
what's
you go.
funny
There's
is
my answer.
I think I just found that music when I was going through the
Really?
discs recently. Yeah, the
The
Somewhere
cut,
Over the Rainbow
like
music. Yeah.
the
It
version that
was
she used.
in one of those discs. So maybe for our Patreon ALDC elites, I'll throw just the audio. I know that there's probably footage out there of Maddie doing it, but yeah, I just found it, which is interesting.
Okay.
Still looking, by the way, everybody. Still looking. There's a lot of stuff coming to Patreon and YouTube Premium. So a lot more content coming. Anyway.
Crazy content that no one's ever seen. It's nuts.
Well, it's really funny. I just found out also that the vocal teacher that I used to go to when I lived in Florida was Judy Garland's vocal teacher. And he also had an affair with Marilyn Monroe.
Wow.
I just found this out by the other day, actually, when I was like, I found something on
Is he
Facebook.
still living?
No, he passed away in 2012.
Okay.
So just fun fact, just because we were talking about Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
You took from him, you grew up in
Florida.
Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale.
You did.
Yes.
I used to own a condo on Gold Ocean Mile
Okay.
between Oakland Park and Commercial.
I lived on Oakland Park and Commercial, or like right over there. You know where Christchurch was?
Yes,
That's
yes.
where I used to live within walking distance of that.
Okay.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Wow.
Dumb mistake. I sold it too soon.
Oh,
Sold it too
we're
soon.
neighbors.
Bought a house too late. Yeah. Yeah. Good times there, but not
Wow.
very handicap accessible.
Mm,
No, not now. I went back to look to think of buying there again. And
it's changed a lot too.
yeah, and it's just not. It's still that gorgeous ocean view though. And those places aren't going anywhere. Come on, hurricanes. They're not
Yeah, no,
going
no, no.
anywhere, those
Uh-uh.
places. They've been there for 100 years. They're not going anywhere.
Right.
Yes. So you grew up in Florida
Mm-hmm.
and with your mom and dad
Yes.
and became a musician.
Yeah. Yeah. So my dad was actually he was a physician, but he his love of science took over. But he was a musician too. Like I don't know if you remember that group called The Happenings. They had that song "See You in September."
Okay.
He was going to be a touring guitar player for them, and he decided not to go to medical school instead. So he kind of he tells me all the time he lives vicariously through me. You
Well,
know?
that's wonderful that you had that support
Mm-hmm.
and not pushing you to go to med school.
Yes. Yeah. I can't do blood, so.
Okay, well then that was out.
No,
right?
no
Yes.
way. Yeah.
But you pour your blood into these songs.
Yes.
into
Nice
these
segue.
songs.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And we were out the other evening.
Yeah.
You and Rachel Sage took the stage and were rocking it out, mesmerizing, entertaining. The place should have been packed. It's hard to get people into nightclubs
Yes.
nowadays, I think. But when I walked back in, I knew I had heard the Mint. I knew I've seen the logo, the Mint. Yeah. But I remember going downtown LA to a club that was in where they used to make the money,
Mm-hmm.
a mint, like an actual mint.
Right.
But I don't know what it was called, but that's where I thought I was going,
Mm-hmm.
to that place, just following the GPS. And then when I got there and I walked in the back door with musicians that were loading in, and I rolled in. Sorry, I shouldn't say walked. I walked in. Woo! No, I rolled in and boom, it hit me.
Yep.
That's the place that I had to go to
Mm-hmm.
when we were shooting an episode of Dance Moms where Kendall and Nia were singing.
Mm-hmm.
That was all done behind my back.
You told me that, and I was shocked.
So when we were doing this show, you had no idea that I wasn't totally on board and totally involved in all of that.
From as far as I knew, you had always been involved.
No.
Mm.
So I did It's a Girl Party
Mm-hmm.
for Mackenzie.
Mm-hmm.
Found a songwriter who wanted to be a partner with me. We had a 360 deal with Mackenzie.
Mm-hmm.
We did the song. I solely paid for the video.
Mm-hmm.
I got it back,
Mhm.
and then not one more penny.
That's the
And-
music industry for you.
And-
It's
well,
awful.
no, that's the Melissa industry for you. And so then she signed another record deal with somebody else. The partner in it, his name was Andrew Logan. He sued them.
Mm.
And then part of his deal was he wasn't allowed to tell me about it. But I was his partner in the 360 deal.
Oh man.
So that's just a whole sordid detail of the song industry, like you said. But then didn't learn my lesson. So then years later, I did the same thing for Kendall. And I had a song written called Wear 'Em Out, where it was work for hire.
Mhm.
I bought the song. People were really down and out. They had nothing. So I bought the song, and I bought 10 songs. For everybody out there, I've received 3, paid in full for 10 songs to be written and recorded.
Mm.
And the mother had to pay for the voice lessons with them
Okay.
to learn the songs. That was her deal. My deal was work for hire, 10 songs.
You should have asked me or Rachel. We would have taken care of you guys.
I know someone came to me
Mm.
to do it. And
Okay.
I know you would have, in hindsight, of course. And so they were voice teachers at my studio, at my dance studio in LA when I opened. So I did the deal for Kendall, did Wear 'Em Out, and she did well with it. It went to #1 in 3 countries, just like It's a Girl Party did.
Hmm.
The UK, Australia, and the United States on iTunes. And then Kendall decided I wasn't going to be her manager anymore
Hmm.
and recorded 2 more songs with those people, Christmas song and something else. And then that was it. So I never got the rest of my songs that they owed me, and they were never recorded. And who knows what could have happened. I do still get residuals a little, sense from Wear 'Em Out.
Mhm.
And that's
I
it.
was gonna say, yeah, I think that was like the major difference between It's a Girl Party and Wear 'Em Out. They actually still fulfilled that agreement, and it's still all good. There was no,
Well,
like, you're still, like you said, you're still getting residuals. That's
no,
pretty good, I
it
guess.
wasn't all good because it was work for hire and I was to own the song outright. They were
Mhm.
giving up, they were
Oh,
relinquishing all writers' rights to it and
yeah.
everything because they were hurting.
I see.
Yeah. And so I was to own it in full. And I just get a small, tiny percentage of the residuals. They get the rest.
Mm.
And that's not the way it was supposed to be.
Yeah, and I mean the fact that you didn't even get all of the songs that you were supposed to get. And I
10
remember
songs.
and in that episode, I remember that they said that Kendall recorded an entire album that Abby is sitting on. I think that potentially they didn't know, or they were just trying to do it for storyline. Maybe they didn't realize that that you weren't specifically holding them because you didn't ever get them yourself. They're probably just out there. You never
I don't
heard
even know
them.
if they were written.
Mm.
And oh, okay. So so they hadn't been recorded yet.
No.
Got
Three
you.
songs
Okay, so
were
they only
recorded. And
recorded
I'm in one
those
of them.
three.
I'm in like we did a behind the scenes video for it.
Yep, which
And
is on
she's-
your YouTube channel.
Yes.
Yep.
And interestingly enough, they wrote a song called Ballerina, was one of them that I don't think was really finished together, mastered. And Maddie went in the booth and sang it.
Mm.
Somewhere lies that recording.
No, it's
of
in
her
that behind the
singing.
scenes.
Okay.
It's in that behind the scenes video that we have on your YouTube channel. I was always curious why Maddie was in there too. That makes a lot of sense.
She just was fooling
Um,
around because, of course, Melissa probably needed a babysitter for the day. So she just shoved Maddie with us, and whatever was playing with Kendall, was a play date
Right.
with Kendall and was there during the whole thing. And Maddie was probably very interested
Right.
in what Kendall was doing because she didn't want anybody getting ahead of her. That's the kid I knew. She
Did
was
she sing
interested. She
too?
was curious. She didn't sing, but she did sing,
Right.
and she wasn't half bad.
Okay. Because I know
Interesting.
Mackenzie does. We went to go see her. She did what is it? The Wizard of Oz. She was the lead in the Wizard of Oz at the Pasadena theater, whatever theater it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the reason I did that for Mackenzie back in the day is because she did not want to dance anymore.
Oh. Okay.
And I just knew with the pigeon-toed feet and the work ethic, let's put it there, that she wasn't going to be the dancer that Maddie was. So
Mhm.
let's give her an alternative route. Let's try the singing thing and let's see if it works. And
I guess it is because I've been seeing her.
I guess it
stuff.
is.
Yeah.
I guess it worked.
Yeah.
So yay me.
Yeah.
No, I really did. I thought, let's give this kid another outlet. It's not going to be gymnastics. We know there's 5, 7 girls in
Mhm.
the country that make the Olympic team and everybody else doesn't.
Right.
So, and never do anything except a college scholarship and then they get hurt and that's it. So I thought this whole singing thing is cute. It's adorable. Let's do this. It's a girl party and the dresses and the kids still wear dresses with tennis shoes.
Right.
And we started that whole thing because we couldn't get little heels for all the kids to dance in. And I thought, you know what? Let's just get those sparkly tennis shoes and put them on and let's do it so they can dance.
I
in
see
those shoes.
adults wearing that kind of stuff.
I know.
Yeah.
It's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's nuts. So anyway, okay. Well, that's enough about that. But let's go back to the Mint. So
Okay.
I walk in and I'm supposed to show up to see Nia and Kendall singing.
Mm-hmm.
And that would have been after Kendall left me, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
to work me up about, I don't know. So I don't know how I was there that night. I don't know if I even saw you.
You did. It was very brief, but it did seem like you were perturbed. I didn't know why. I was like, oh, I don't know. Did I do something wrong? I'm not sure.
Not
It
at
was
all.
it was a bad week. I remember when I was watching it, you walked in and you were like, I don't know, just making like funny remarks. Listen, you were on TV, so I'm sure I don't know if you were actually genuinely that upset. That was the same week that the kids left you, like, and then there wasn't a nationals in season 6. And then I don't know if you remember that. You don't remember that there wasn't a nationals in season 6. It was very strange. It ended with them competing with MDP. And then that was it. It was very awkward. And then I guess production or the people decided to all try to get you back together for season 7, and then season 7 started from there. Season 6 was strange.
Okay.
No nationals after that. So
Okay.
yeah. But the girls sounded nice.
Yeah.
The girls sounded nice that episode.
Did they even know what they were doing? Like, did they understand what the concept was and why they were doing it?
It was something that was put together pretty quickly, and we only had a one very quick rehearsal with them right before the show, and they were actually rehearsing dance. So we were actually going to the dance studio to rehearse like harmonies and stuff with them. So it was kind of, yeah.
I always get emails and direct messages online from kids and parents asking if I can record a short video, wishing someone a happy birthday, a milestone congratulations on a special achievement, or even just my advice before performing at a competition. With Cameo, my followers, the ALDC elites, have the chance to connect with me directly. Looking to have Abby Lee's last word as you enter an exciting moment of your life? Maybe put you, your friend, or a special someone at the top of the pyramid? Or do you want them at the very bottom? Anything is possible on Cameo. Connect with me from anywhere on the globe at cameo.com/The Real Abby Lee. That's cameo.com/The Real Abby Lee. The sky's the limit on Cameo. So how did you get the phone call for that?
I believe it was Scott Shatsky had asked me about it. But I'd actually asked some of the producers early on in the show. I'm like, I would love to at some point, do something where I can maybe come on and play live, and maybe have Maddie do something to it. I think it might have been more not relevant, but like earlier on, I think it would have made more sense.
Absolutely.
But I mean, it's okay. I was still very grateful for the opportunity, and we had a great time. But yeah, that would be the only thing I would say about it. But it was still fun. It's not going to take away from how fun it was.
Yeah. Well, it could have been more fun had I been included and involved. And they said, hey, this is what we're going to do, and it's going to be great, and let's have all the girls sing. And why weren't they all singing?
Probably wouldn't have been as awkward.
Yes, of course it wouldn't have been.
Yeah. And it was, I don't know if the girls felt awkward because it wasn't their song that they had danced to. I don't know if they felt weird about it.
I just think everything could have been done better, classier, and they always used people. And I hate that. I'm not a user, and I don't like to use people. You should get paid for your services, for your time, for your travel, for your transportation, whatever, except for today. And you should, you're a professional. You're worthy of that. And I just feel like they used people. They would call friends of mine in the dance industry, dance teachers, choreographers, and say, hey, Abby really wants you on the show, and she keeps trying to get us to bring you on, but the only way we can do it is if you go work, do a choreography, do a piece for Kathy, and but Abby's fine. She realizes it. She's just trying to do you a favor, blah, blah, blah. And then they would end up at the competition and come and hug me. And I'm like, what are you doing here? How dare you go behind my back and work for Kathy? And they're like, what are you talking about? They said that you wanted me to do this.
Well, this is why I have a lot of respect for you, Abby, because I remember you telling me this, because I had been scheduled to be on the Abby's Ultimate.
Okay.
And I performed Survive while Maddie was dancing. And you said to me, you're like, you make sure that they pay you because you're a professional. And I'm like, you know what? You're absolutely right. So I made sure, and I had to kind of hunt them down. But
I'm sure you had to hunt them down.
No, it's okay. I mean, it's not something I'm not used to, but I really respected that. And I was telling you before too, one of my core memories that you're a part of actually was I came into the studio to do one of the Dance Moms episodes. And I was wearing, just leggings and a black skeleton top. And you say to me, you're like, is that what you're wearing? And it was savage, but in the best kind of way. And actually, I really appreciated that about you because you always want things to be perfect. And I remember,
I do.
and no, but it's a great quality, you know, because you had also said to me that, you know, some of the crew members were, you know, you liked them, but they were always trying to be really friendly with all the little girls and everything on the show. So if they wanted to wear, you know, something maybe casual or sporty, they wouldn't say anything. But I remember you had a comment about a top that Maddie was wearing. And you had said to me, you're like, I wish that she had worn something that was like a little more glamorous or glitzy. And I really respect that. And like I said, it's become a core memory for me
Aw.
because no, I mean, when I walk outside, I want to look good. I want to
Well,
look
yeah,
like a
and
professional, you know?
I don't think, I think the kids in the world get that,
Hmm.
because when I bump into kids, or I'm at a store, I'm in an airport, and kids run up and hug me and they want a picture, and that it doesn't matter how mean the world thinks I was or how much tough love I gave, kids get it. And I think in their minds, it's like, if I had someone to believe in me, like she believed in those kids, or someone to push me,
Hmm.
or someone to care about me. And that's the thing is, I didn't want to look my best. I would let myself go with rollers in my hair and no makeup on. I wanted them to look their best. I wanted them to put their best foot forward always. And there's no way they don't think about that stuff now when they
Oh,
go to an
absolutely.
interview or go to do you know, a podcast, or go to do anything, that they don't look in the mirror and think, oh, should I have this on? You know,
No, but even Abby, like you say that, but I've never seen you in a situation where you're at least not wearing some pop of, you know,
something.
color, or, you know, even if it's a t-shirt, you're wearing a t-shirt now, but it's
Yes.
bedazzled. So you always have something going on, and it's going back to what we were talking about
Your
before.
style. Look at you with your
Right.
hat and your what is that?
Oh, a kimono?
Your hat, your
duster?
kimono, your
Yeah.
duster, yes. And it's in your fab, and you have your
Thank you.
jewelry. I mean, it's important in this industry to always be presentable, I think. And it's always
Absolutely.
better to be overdressed than underdressed.
Yeah, because no one's going to say to you, "Oh, you're looking too overdressed for this moment." You know?
Never.
Never.
Now, did you take the skeleton shirt off?
I don't think we had enough time.
Ah,
So yes,
okay.
but it stuck with me, and I'm like, oh man, I should have worn something better. You know, Abby's absolutely right. You know, and you're right, because I
Oh,
was
wow.
on national television. You know, and now I will forever be in this, you know, skeleton shirt with leggings. I mean, it was fine, but you know, how many girls do you see walking around on the street that have the skeleton shirt with the leggings?
A lot.
Yeah,
I know, especially Halloween's coming up.
exactly.
I don't know when this is going to air,
Yeah.
but Halloween is coming up.
Yeah. Alex, you said that you did Maddie's Survivor number for AUDC.
Mhm.
Tell our listeners some of the other songs that you had on the show,
Right,
because I think
that's
everybody just thinks it's just Cry, which
okay.
is not the case.
That's what I want to talk about. Most of our listeners and our viewers think that you did cry.
Mhm.
Cry, 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 right? Let's tell everybody, I want you to tell everyone all the songs that we used on Dance Moms
Okay.
and then on Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition.
There were a lot, so I'll try to encapsulate them as best as I can. But there was Cry, Home Again, which actually they did a routine, a group routine for, I think, Hurricane Katrina.
Yes, that was in New Orleans at
Yes.
Nationals. And you were, what do you call it? Did we ask you to write that?
Yes, yes. So yeah, I think it was Brian. Brian had asked me.
Satan. Yeah. Also known as Satan.
Yeah, he had asked me to write that one specially, and then there was a mother episode, but that song I don't think made it in. I think it was too rock and roll for the episode.
Okay.
So there was that. There was Out of Sight.
4.
Let me see, Survive. That was on Abby's Ultimate, I think.
Okay. 5.
Wasting Away.
I remember that. 6.
Breathe, I think, was on there. Oh my gosh. I have another band. At the time it was called Sound of Cancer, but it turned into Bat Farm, and we had a song on there. You guys didn't even know it was us. It was yeah, it was called
was
Need Someone.
Need Someone. Okay.
Or no, it was Dark Carnival. Dark Carnival. It was the carnival circusy kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes, that's what it was. There's so many of them. I can't even think of all of them. But it just goes to show how much love, dance moms had, which is fantastic. I'm sure I'll let you know later. I can't think of all of them
right.
off the
So
top of my head.
so we'll maybe list them
Yeah.
down in
Yeah.
a graphic.
And I think, Alex, you are going to do something very special for our listeners today. You're going to be
Maybe.
performing.
Yes. We have a special treat. Alex, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I would love for you to do a few of the hits you had on
Okay.
Dance Moms.
Okay.
I think our listeners would love that. And
Okay.
to our viewers to see you actually singing the songs.
Okay.
They've seen the dances, they know them in their heads, but to see you perform and to, actually see your mouth moving, making the music is incredible.
Oh, well, thank you. But you have to promise to do the Maddie face.
Oh, I'll do the Maddie.
Okay. Fabulous. All right. Okay.
They don't understand there was an Abby face.
Or Abby
They
face.
just don't understand there was an Abby face long before there was a Maddie
Okay.
face.
Well,
When I teach little ones, 6, 7, 8-year-olds, lyrical, they're solos, I teach the facial expressions right with each step because they aren't evolved enough or have enough years in the business at 6, 7, and 8 to just express those faces naturally.
right.
They have to do, okay, we're going to do this on cross ball change. We're going to do this on the arabesque. We're going to, so I actually teach the face right with the steps. So you would see me in my studio. If there was a hidden camera, I would be doing every one of those faces big and animated so the kid would get it.
Right.
Then when they step on stage, it's automatically there. They've practiced it just like they've practiced the steps.
Well, emoting, I think, is just as important as the dance.
It is.
So,
It is. And too many kids nowadays don't understand that. You have to connect with that audience. You have to just get in their face and get those judges to love you.
Oh, absolutely. Fabulous. Well, should
Just
I?
like you're going to get in their ears.
All right.
You're going to get in their ears and
Okay,
make them love you.
great.
Millions of kids go to bed hungry each night in the U.S. So when I found out about a nonprofit that feeds 5,000 underserved children each night named Katerina's Club, headed by Chef Bruno Serrato, I knew I had to help. After all, who knows kids better than me? He launched Katerina's Club when he found out about California's motel kids. These children are so poor that their entire families live in single-room motels with no kitchens, nowhere to cook, no dinner. So food was a rarity for many of these families. He has been feeding kids, 5,000 kids, every single night since 2005. He even mortgaged his home twice to keep the program going. When his restaurant, Anaheim White House, burned to the ground, he found another kitchen that same day to keep feeding kids without interruption. He has served well over 10 million meals. We are looking for any size donations. After all, a $5 donation feeds a family of 4. While food banks are helping ease the crisis, many of these children, often referred to as motel kids, live in cheap, crime-ridden units that do not contain kitchens. Since these families are unable to cook dinner, they depend on already prepared meals like those provided by Katerina's Club. To become involved and make a donation, go to katerinasclub.org/donate. Again, that's katerinasclub.org/donate. And you mentioned a voice teacher that taught Judy Garland,
Yes.
coached her. And how did they find that voice teacher?
Oh, well, he lived out here at the time. So he was like, I guess, the go-to voice teacher in Hollywood. And he eventually retired out to Florida where he taught voice for the rest of his life.
Okay. So go-to for professional adults, or was it, he was a children's, did he do kids mainly?
I'm not sure. And it was so early on in my
Or
life
phrase that, did he teach children mainly?
he I think did both.
Okay.
But
So when in Florida, how did they find him?
the like Hollywood, you mean? Or how did who find?
No. Your parents.
Oh,
how did they
I'm sorry.
find the voice
Okay.
teacher? Because so many of our
Yes.
listeners here are moms that have kids that dance,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so important that they sing as well.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't know how you find the best teachers?
That's a good question. I think it could have been something like it was one of my dad's patients, or, you know,
Okay.
just through the grapevine they heard something. But I mean, now what I do is that there's like a wonderful coach called Ken Tamplin, and I use him all the time on YouTube. And I, even before coming here, I was doing vocal drills.
Okay.
He's fantastic. Yeah.
Ken Tamplin.
Yeah.
All right. And then and your mom and dad, did they just buy all the instruments and they took you to the voice lessons? They had to drive you there?
I didn't play
It was-
guitar at the time. So I started playing when I was around 12.
So you
or 11
sang,
or 12. I sang.
how old were you when you started to sing?
Oh my gosh, I was so young. I mean, I was in the choir. I went to a Catholic school, so I was in the choir and I would sing all the time. So I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 is when I started to find that I had a voice.
Really?
Yeah,
5 or 6 years old. That's incredible.
yeah,
And so they just stuck with it. That
Mhm.
was your thing,
yeah.
not soccer and,
I mean, I
and
fiddled
ballet
around
and
with other things.
basketball and everything.
I did dance for a short time, but I have 2 left feet, so that didn't work out so well with me. But yeah, like music and really wanting to pursue that, I think I was about 11 or 12, and then from then on, just ever since I've done it.
And what instruments do you play?
So guitar primarily. I do a little bit of bass. I even do some percussion stuff, but guitar is my primary.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you heard it. Now you're going to hear it.
All right. Let's do this. I think it's hold on a second here. It might still be a little bajiggity. All right. Well, it's close enough for rock and roll. Okay. So I guess I'll start this one. It hasn't been on Dance Moms, but it's on the record that Cry was on. So the song is called
Okay.
See You Again.
See you again.
I don't know what's going on inside of my head. No. I am numb, lying here alone in my bed. No. My soul is running on empty. My heart is barely even beating. The song is playing on repeat, but I can't make much sense of it. It's gonna take more than I'm sorry. No happy ending to our story. Came so quick and without a warning. And I can't seem to let go of it. I never felt pain like this. Words cannot describe how much I miss you. And I can't seem to just carry on, 'cause everything is going wrong. And what I wouldn't give so that I could see you again. So that I could see you again. And it feels like the whole world is just crumbling down. Oh yes. And it's so dark, cold without you hanging around. Everywhere I go, everywhere I turn, I see you. Though it burns, I just don't know what I should do. Tell me what's gonna help me through all this. And I can't seem to let go of it. I never felt pain like this. Words cannot describe how much I miss you. And I can't seem to just carry on, 'cause everything is going wrong. And what I wouldn't give so that I could see you again. 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 So that I could see you again.
Woo! Right
Thank
here
you.
in the studio. It's so cool. It's just doesn't get any liver than this, does
It's
it?
pretty live.
There you have it. Alexx Calise leaving it on the dance floor.
Yeah.
What's next?
Okay, so I figured, because it's a podcast primarily about dance moms, that
Yes.
it only seemed natural that I would do Survive next.
Okay.
I'm gonna save the best for last, if you know what I
Okay.
mean.
Okay.
All right.
This is from Abby's,
Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition.
and Maddie did a solo,
Yes.
and you played live.
Yes, I
there.
did. Yes.
And you got paid
Yeah, I did.
after
You
you
made
hunted
sure of it.
down Collins Avenue.
Absolutely, I did.
I know.
That's all this
I hunted
lady.
him down for 8 years. I know.
Yes. Well, you inspired me, so
Okay.
here we go. Actually, you know what? Hang on one second. I'm so sorry to do this. It sounded like a string went out of tune a little bit. My bad. There we go. Yeah, I thought so. It's sometimes the temperature in the building.
What does the button on the top do?
Oh, this one, these two right here?
Yeah.
So that's volume and that's tone, but if you press them both together, there's a built-in tuner. There we go. It's the A string that was kind of messed up there.
Live performing, guys, right
This-
here.
This is it. This
All
is what
right.
happens. This
Okay.
is-
All right, let's try this again.
Woo!
Much better.
Oh, I want to save my soul. I know it's been a while. Oh, but I got nowhere to go. Sometimes I feel like there's nowhere to go but down. I search high and low, no hope to be found. I've grown so tired, haven't laughed or smiled, God knows how long. Well, I'll survive. And I'll give it one more try. Oh, the world can be so cruel. All you wanna do is hide, but that's no way to live your life. Oh, I'm gonna hold my head up high. We may hurt, I won't let them see me cry. No, no, wipe those tears away and brave a brand day one more time. Oh, well, I'll survive. Well, I'll give it one more try. Give it one more try. Oh, yeah. Ooh, ooh. No, 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 no. Oh, well, I'll survive. And I'll give it one more try. Oh, I'll survive. And I'll give it one more try.
That needs to be my theme song of my life
Thank you.
now, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. You've been through a lot.
Wow. And I, not going to sit and hide.
Oh,
I'm gonna
absolutely.
give it one more try. That's all
Yeah.
you can keep doing.
That's why I wrote it. Yeah.
Your breath control is so amazing. I pop my peas in the mic all the time. And every time I go to speak, you can hear me take a breath. And you can't hear that at all.
Oh, thank you.
You are just the pro at that. I mean,
Thank
my
you.
goodness, I never hear you once take a breath.
Thank you. Well, try the Ken Tamplin. He's fantastic.
Well, I mean, even I go to speak and I, take a breath and you can't hear you at all. My goodness.
Wow. I mean, I guess that's a good thing.
That's a
right?
great thing.
Oh,
Oh, my
great.
goodness. It's great. And you
Thank
just keep
you.
coming and coming and coming. You just keep hitting it. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
When
wow.
you
That's
see
an
her,
amazing compliment.
I'm seeing from the profile too. And just how to use a mic and how to get closer and get further away from the mic and pull back and so many things that kids just don't understand.
Well, it's the same with dance. It's like you do it like 10 billion times until you finally get it. This is not, like with bike control and Michael over there, he knows as well. He's a musician.
Yeah.
It takes so much in order to be the best. Nothing great is, created overnight.
No,
You know?
it's not. It's not.
Yeah.
And you're playing at the same time. It's not even like you're just concentrating on your voice.
Yeah.
You're have a lot to concentrate on.
Absolutely. But it's the same with, it's with dance or with anything, it's just practice. You just have to keep practicing and practicing until you
Practice
get
makes
it.
perfect. That's right.
Yeah. Or
And perfection really never comes for an artist. Whether
Never.
it's a singer, dancer, musician, you're always striving you're always striving for perfection. And that's what makes people great, is because they never think they achieve it.
Right.
Ever.
Oh,
You
no.
Just keep going. Yes.
Never.
Could always be better.
Yeah, it's a total mess up in here. So
Well, that was not a mess. That was fabulous.
No, I'm
So
talking
good.
about it, and thank you.
Yes.
But as an artist, we're messed up.
Yes,
It's never
always.
good enough.
Never good enough.
But that's what I think makes an artist better.
And I
you
always
know.
say to the kids, you have to leave it on the dance floor.
Absolutely.
You don't come into those wings
Mm-hmm.
after that performance and say, I should have done this. I could have done that. Why didn't I do this? You have to hit those wings like, yes, I nailed it. Because that kid going after you, you need to psych them out.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, like when I get into this zone, because sometimes, I'm just like, oh, I didn't hit the right note that I wanted to, or I didn't give the performance I wanted to. That's when I like sing harder almost, because
Yes.
you got to push past it.
Absolutely.
Because, what you're doing too, it might inspire somebody, and B, they could be thinking they're seeing the greatest thing ever and you're just in your head.
Did you ever do, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Or I always tell the kids, somebody could have brought 20 people in the audience and they're screaming for them and the kid was lousy.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know any of that.
Right.
So you got to just leave it on the dance floor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, or leave it on
Leave your stuff at home. Absolutely.
Now, did you ever do any music competitions, vocal competitions?
I mean, yeah, but it's mostly just been, situations where I'm recording in the studio or playing live and stuff like that. The competitions were always weird for me.
There was no The Voice or American Idol or anything like that.
I had tried out for the Voice, the American Idol. I think my voice is too weird because they want a very malleable type of singer, and you can hear my crazy goat vibrato from a mile away, and I was supposed to be on a show called The Four, I believe it was. I had everything ready to go, and then it just didn't happen, I think because I was too different than the rest of the competitors, because it was mostly like rap and hip hop and stuff.
Okay,
And
okay.
I think that's what they liked about me. But at the same time, I think it was just something they wanted to keep it more uniform.
Well, then they have to give you things to do.
Yes.
And you have to be able to do, they're looking for that.
Yeah. And it would just
person that
look
does all that
stupid
stuff.
if I tried to do all of that stuff. So, yeah.
Stick to your own lane.
Yes.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Because you're a hit already.
Thank you.
You're a star. You don't need that stuff.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, I know. And I feel like that always like maybe a little after you. I don't know. Like now it's just, I don't even know people that watch that anymore.
Yeah. I don't know.
I like to see what the judges are wearing. And then after that, it's like, okay.
I think it's about the judges. I don't really think what breakout star have you seen from The Voice?
Same thing as
Idol.
Same thing as So You Think You Can Dance.
Exactly. I mean,
There was one huge breakout star,
Mhm.
Twitch. And
yeah. And I'm sorry
So-
I know you guys were friends, right?
yes,
That he
yes,
passed away.
yes. But it's the same thing. It's those kids they get too used to signing autographs on the way out the door and being on a television show. So they don't want to audition to be in the chorus of a Broadway show because no one's waiting for them at the stage door to sign an autograph. They're waiting for the stars.
Right.
And I think they get that feeling, and then they don't want to go down and start over.
But that's the thing. You're always starting over.
As a dancer too, and a musician, you always have to start at the bottom and work your way up. And then there's going to be another bottom to start at and another bottom. There's stairs, keep going.
Yeah, the trick is to just keep going and be humble, because one day you could be headlining and the next day you're sweeping the floors. And I've been in both situations.
Yes.
And I mean that literally as well.
Yes.
So
I know. I feel you. in those sticky bar floors, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. But
all right, what do you have left for us?
All right, well,
do you have anything else in there? I know this has taken a lot out of you. If you guys could see, it's like she did 13 solos and 7 group dances here. That's how much breath control she had. Go ahead.
Thank you. So if you guys don't know this one, I would be very surprised. But this one I saved it, for last because it was the one that we were talking about a little bit before. But this song is called Cry.
Well, I guess it's been a while since I've seen the sunshine, since I have smiled. And me was so well versed, as feeling so damn empty, as I lost for words. Forgot what it's like to just feel okay. I'm praying for the day when there is no more rain, and I don't wanna do anything but cry. Oh, and I don't wanna do anything but cry. Well, I hardly feel alive. I'm going through the motions. I don't feel like trying. The hole in my heart is growing bigger by the day. I wish that I could crawl inside, hide away, and I don't wanna do anything but cry. Oh, and I don't wanna do anything but cry. Oh, I'm so low. I'm almost to the bottom. Oh, nowhere to go. Even my soul has left my body. And I don't wanna do anything but cry. Oh, and I don't wanna do anything but cry. And I don't wanna do anything but cry. And I don't wanna do anything but cry.
I cannot believe how many times I've taken that home, listened to that, worked with that song, and I never knew the word damn was in there.
Really?
No. Either it just didn't register, I didn't want to have to edit it. I I never heard that till just now.
Really?
I probably heard it, but when I saw your lips move and say it, I went, there was a swear word in there. I never knew that.
Oh, well, I guess it made it past the, even though it was a kid's show.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a kid show.
Well, yes.
I heard that every month. We're not in a children's network. It's not a kid show.
Right.
But we made it a kid show.
Right, of course.
Who are they kidding? Come on, people.
Yeah.
Yes, but I never heard that. How funny is that?
That is funny. And how many times do you think you've listened to it? Because it as much as I have, I've played it a lot too.
At least 40, 50. Probably.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Well,
and I listen to the same, it's like play, rewind, play,
right.
rewind, play, rewind to get those 8 counts or to get that next section of the choreography.
Right.
Like it's over and over and over. Yes. Somebody asked me a question or a light flickers and I forgot where I was and I have to go back and play it again. You have the steps in your head and then in one instant, 10th of a second, they're gone.
Well, I was very in the zone when I was just playing it, so I didn't look over. But were you doing the Maddie face?
I did the Maddie face.
Okay, great, fabulous.
I don't know, was it sad or was it just?
Well, there was a sad one, and then there was one where
like
happy. Yeah.
Yes, when the rain.
Yeah. Yes.
I know that I changed little girls' lives with that show. You know it as a professional, looking in, walking in, hearing your songs on the show.
Yeah.
And I changed the mothers' lives too. Definitely. I never realized, and it makes me feel so elated and so wonderful that I had a part in your life.
Oh, it's same here. I mean, like it changed my life.
And
I will be the first to tell you, and I'm the first to tell everybody. Like, had it not been for that show, I don't know where I would be.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that makes me feel wonderful.
Absolutely.
That I could do that. I wish for more artists that we could have done that. I appreciate your songs. I appreciate you giving them freely to the network to use. That's nuts. And every ounce of notoriety or every ounce of recognition that you got from that, amen.
It was amazing. Yeah, like I said, I don't know where I would be.
Yeah.
So thank you.
And your dad, what did he think about it when he
thought it was wild. And we've like since then, like I've worked with some of the other girls, on the show, like Nia and stuff.
Yes.
And they're wonderful people, and I would never have been exposed to that had it not been for the show.
Well, good. So glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So now, Alexx, where can everybody find you? What do you have coming up? What's new? Where will you be?
Okay. Well, you can find me on alexxcalise.net. I am working on some brand new mystery music.
Okay.
So hopefully it'll be available in the next month or two.
All right.
But,
So for the holidays, that'll be out?
Yeah, around the holidays. But I work with another rock band called Bat Farm. So I've been really concentrating on that a lot the past few years. And actually playing with Rachel recently kind of reinvigorated me to, do some more of the solo stuff. And then seeing you and Gianna and stuff, it was very inspiring. So
good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes. We need those subjects, all those subjects that are in the news and this and that. We need songs about them.
Oh, there's plenty to write about.
There's plenty to write about right now. AlexxCalise.net. And anywhere live?
Yeah. I mean, it's mostly with Bat Farm, but we'll be doing some Alexx Calise stuff soon.
Okay. Well, watch for her, follow her, go check it out. And your Instagram is?
At Alexx Calise.
Just at Alexx Calise. Okay. So please go follow. Yes. Follow. All right. Thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciated your time this afternoon, your talents. Oh my God. That training. Yes. And thank you, our audience, our listeners, the ALDC elites for joining us today on Leave It on the Dance Floor. ALDC elites, thank you so very much for listening. Be sure to subscribe and give Leave It on the Dance Floor a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you want to watch each week and see exclusive behind-the-scenes content like my never-seen-before pictures and videos from the competitions, some even taken from the wings, classes at the ALDC studio in Pittsburgh, or even our iconic dance concerts, head over to Patreon or become a member on YouTube Premium, linked in the show notes each week. See you on the flip side.